As a 14-year-old, talking about my experience with mental health is not easy. It's something I never thought I had to deal with at such a young age, but here goes. It all started about a year ago when I realized that I was feeling constantly sad, irritable, and unmotivated. I didn't want to get out of bed, I didn't want to hang out with my friends, and I just felt empty inside. At first, I thought it was just a phase, but it was persistent. That's when I knew something was not quite right with my mental health. My mental illness has impacted my relationships with family, friends, and even my performance at school. I've become more isolated and withdrawn from my family and friends. I don't even enjoy doing the things I used to, and it's hard for me to find pleasure in anything. I've also noticed that I'm not doing as well in school as I used to, and it's been hard to concentrate. I'm not sure what has affected my mental well-being. It could be the stress of school, or maybe the pressure to fit in with other people. It could be something genetic that runs in my family. Whatever it is, it's been a struggle to deal with. As for traumatic experiences, I can't say that I have not got anything in particular, but I do remember a time when my parents were going through a rough patch in their marriage. I remember feeling helpless and scared. It's possible that this may have had an impact on my mental well-being. Overall, dealing with a mental illness as a 14-year-old has been tough, and not something that's talked about a lot, and it's easy to feel alone. When I first realized that something was not quite right with my mental health, I didn't know what to do. It was hard for me to talk to my family or friends about what I was going through because I didn't want to be a burden on them. Eventually, I decided to seek help from my school counselor. At first, I was hesitant to go because I didn't know what to expect, but my school counselor made me feel comfortable and validated my feelings. She helped me understand that what I was going through and gave me coping mechanisms to manage my mental illness. Overall, seeking help from my mental illness was a difficult but important step in my journey towards healing. Through therapy, coping mechanisms, and lifestyle changes, I learned how to manage my mental illness. If someone's struggling with their mental health for the first time, my advice would be to seek help as soon as possible. It's important to remember that mental illnesses are not a sign of weakness, and seeking help is brave and necessary step towards healing. Whether it's talking to a trusted friend or family member, reaching out to a professional, or seeking support online, there are many resources available to help you.
When I was around 12 or 13, I was diagnosed with OCD. Besides that, to me, depression, stress, anxiety are daily occurrences at this point, because sometimes I just be thinking and crying because of life. Things definitely changed over time. My parents obviously try to help me out, but don't realize that by the way they stress me into studying causes my mental health to worsen even more. My friends or co-workers don't actually know exactly if they have noticed when they know. School work, isolation from people, bad acquaintances, probably social media, family problems, round parent things. Obviously academic stress. Besides that, my parents do fight a lot, and let's just say people often used to guilt up me into things because I am naive sometimes, and I regret those now. I got body shamed a lot as a kid. I wasn't obese, but I was a bit on the non-beauty standard type. So I continuously starved myself for a while and got made fun of that too. Now that I'm kind of back to normal and not over exercising or starving, people make fun of me for eating. Certain friends that I used to be close to advertise the idea of me dieting because I opened up to them about body image issues, so I definitely got made fun of that. And being a bit of the validation type of child, I often got compared to my peers and shamed if I got lower grades. I know that this might not be general trauma, but these things are what made me be this way, making me feel like I'm not good enough for this world to exist. During school time, like when I was in 11th or 12th grade, I was a very all-around type kid because of pressure. But no matter what I achieved outside of studies, I was not appreciated by my parents. They sometimes asked me to drop out some extracurricular too. I mean, I love my parents, but sometimes things are a bit tough fitting into Eastern Sri Lankan standards. My childhood was just me feeling like I was never enough. For OCD, I do take medication. Besides that, I have never told anyone else. I keep things to myself, thinking I'll be judged. At this point, coping mechanisms are music, movies, and random dark news. And now I feel like I have found some people that make me feel like I belong. I'm honestly truly grateful for them. I haven't perfected my way of life either, but I suggest them to try. Just try. Because no matter what you do or how you do it, there will be people who will continue to try and make you feel useless and not enough at the end of the day of his life, and it's probably temporary. Who knows?